Economically disadvantaged. Anybody want to jump in?
I would say we have talked about them. We've talked about the fact that, at least, you know, for a lot of what any of us are trying to do is address problems of humanity. And
well, certainly your EPICS program, you might describe that, because that actually brought a lot of women into engineering.
yeah, so for engineering, one of the most successful approaches to getting more girls, more high school, middle school girls interested in engineering, and more college students, female college students, has been going back to this messaging. Don't talk about the math and science. Talk about how this works with real people solving real problems. So actually, this would be my answer to your question. If one course that if you were going to have at the intersection, I would be completely self-serving and say it should be EPICS. And EPICS was founded at Purdue. When it was founded, it stood for Engineering Projects in Community Service. It's saying connect the technology with the community needs. If you look around now, you'll very rarely see that spelled out, because the realization after about the first year was that there really was a goal to say the projects have an engineering core. You're trying to use engineering to solve problems, but it's solving problems for people and for the community, and a bunch of engineers actually working together do that very badly. And so you'd be far better off recruiting students from all over the campus. So about 25% of the students in EPICS this year are from outside engineering, and they're from 45 different majors at Purdue. And in particular, the percent of women, both from outside engineering, but in my self-interest in having more women in engineering, yeah, much higher percent. It's a way of saying this is a caring profession, it is a human profession. You get to use these tools and things, but the tools aren't the point. The point is, what are you doing and who's it helping?
We're definitely seeing a value change out of the millennials. They want to help people, they see value and service to the world, they see value and service to each other. And so maybe some of the international global immersion should be just to the poor within 100 miles of here. So there's a whole lot of other people here that are going on, to understand that I always say when you're designing anything, remember 7 billion number subject to change. You're designing it hopefully for everyone, with everyone in mind as to how to do it.
I think the question about women, minority, people from other cultures and ethnicities is how it is we really envision the world. I mean, it's not just what we're thinking about in terms of a particular curriculum or a program. I think that's part of it. But do we see the importance of people around the globe living productive lives, of our interacting with them in positive ways, of our seeing ourselves as part of a global community, are seeing a possibility of living in places where we were not born. So the question is for your first one about the foreign language courses and connections, is that are you in a modern world? Because part of the intersection is about, are you comfortable in a science and technological world? Where we're in one, it's going to be getting even more so. We need to help people to be more comfortable with that. We need to help them to be more productive in that space. We need to help them think more holistically about being in that space. Thinking holistically means also thinking ethically, thinking with some kind of social consciousness, thinking with some kind of culturally informed perspective. And in talking about all those things, if you look at how many people around the world are women, well, what do you think they're going to be doing? You know, how are we making some space in our imaginations for the fact that some of them might want to be engineers, might need to be engineers, might be just the engineer that we're looking for to solve this problem and that problem and the other problem. Don't you want to make sure that there is the opportunity, not just the access to the space, but the opportunity to exercise those talents in a way that allows the world to benefit from that? So I think that we have to think systematically about these things, not just as saying the right things or engaging in acceptable behavior in a complex world, but recognizing that this is the space that we're talking about here. We're talking about a globe where people don't stay at home, they travel, where you need to know something about all of these things.
That's great. Now I'm going to ask for a last word from each of our panelists.